Happy birthday to me, I guess. Hi, I'm Danny Quinn, and as much as I am very appreciative of this, don't do it again, please. Like, seriously. Yeah, it's another one of those videos, you know, where I take a look through these goodie bags here and talk about a bunch of movies that I've just gotten from a friend of mine. I'm just after seeing the movie Midsommar, so I'm hopefully going to get a review on that finished by the end of the week, as well as my reviews for Toy Story 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home. The reason I'm a wee bit later than usual in those movies is because I'm just finding it a wee bit hard to write reviews for them at the moment for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just sort of hit a bit of a brick wall with regards to my usual output of work, but hopefully I can work my way around that and I'll have those reviews out in no time. So hold in there, don't worry, fingers crossed, I'll get it done before the end of the week. None of that's out of the way, let's talk about these two bad boys, and this is pretty much sort of like an unofficial birthday present. In fact, you could pretty much consider this my birthday present because, in case you don't know, today is my birthday, July 11th, and yeah, this is one hell of a birthday present, and I got 2 bags full of DVDs and Blu-Rays to go through, so without further ado, let's get started. First off in the pile is the Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dogs. I'm sure you've probably heard about this film. It's super controversial. I believe it was unavailable in the UK for a long time and officially banned a couple of times, in fact. It says here, released in 1971 and banned from home viewing under the 1984 Video Recordings Act, which is true. The film was officially banned by the BBFC twice. There's a really good video on this film and I really recommend watching it. Cutting Edge did a video on this film and it's well worth watching. It's very fascinating, it's very interesting, it's very insightful. And why am I talking about a lot of stuff that's not really to do with Straw Dogs? Telling the truth, I haven't actually watched this movie yet. Again, I have been waiting to watch it for some time. I've heard it's meant to be quite good, but it is definitely a very tough film to stomach, so I guess I think I'll have to be in the right mindset before I tackle this film. And going all the way from the 70s to modern day, we have Prospect with Pedro Pascal, Jay Duplass, and Sophie Thatcher. The only one I really know is Pedro Pascal for his appearance in Kingsman and his mind-blowing performance in Game of Thrones, but yeah, I haven't really heard a ton about this. Like, it's meant to be quite good, I think. Like, I think I have heard some moderately okay things about this film. Up next is a film from the director of Downfall, and that is Das Experiment. Tell you the truth, I have not actually heard about this film until now. Again, like, it's definitely not a film I know much about, so again, I can't really say much about it until I've actually seen it, but it does look pretty interesting. It definitely looks very harrowing, so I guess it'll be another one of those films I'll have to wait until I'm in the right mindset to watch. The Pool, another film that I honestly haven't really heard of until now, but it does look pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. It does look pretty kind of weird and really curious to see how it turns out. It says here, I think it got the Mélèze d'Argent imagined at the Amsterdam Film Festival, which sounds like it's might be worth watching. Shelley. For some reason this kind of reminds me of It's Alive. I don't know why. It's just, maybe it's the cover art. I mean, it just sort of seems like it's a really weird, trippy kind of horror film, and it looks proper nasty too. I mean, 18, strong sex, threats, bloody images. Again, in this day and age, it really does take a lot for your movie to get an 18th certificate, so yeah, I've not really heard much about this one. Like, it's a film that pretty much completely slipped under my radar for a long time. So, yeah, I have plenty of time over the summer to catch up on it, so hopefully I'll like it. Caged. Yeah, another film that I haven't really heard a ton about, but judging by the cover of it, it definitely looks very nasty. It looks like a very gruesome, twisted, well, not twisted, but very disturbing kind of film. I mean, it says on the back here, it's completely shocking in its depiction of on-screen violence, so yeah, I reckon it must be proper nasty. I don't know, for some reason this kind of reminds me of Hostel, and I'm one of those people that really fucking hates Hostel, so I don't know, like, maybe this is better than that sounds, but I'm not too optimistic about this one, I gotta be honest, but I could be proven wrong, and I like to be pleasantly surprised, so who knows. Frailty, Bill Paxton's directorial debut, starring Bill Paxton and Matthew McConaughey. Another film that I have heard about. I remember one of my college lecturers talked about it in editing class, and she did recommend it quite strongly from what I remember, and I do remember also wanting to rent it from the college library, but at the time I had far too many films that I had rented, so I couldn't, so yeah, this is definitely one I'm looking forward to watching. Up next, Not Going Out with Lee Mack, Sally Bretton, Tim Vine, Miranda Hart, and Katie Wicks. I think Lee Mack and Miranda Hart are literally the only two people I know in this thing. As seen on BBC. I do not remember this playing on BBC. Yeah, from the looks of it, it does look like a pretty decent sitcom, so I'll probably get around to watching it some evening. I'm not sure, like, it looks pretty interesting. Kids, super controversial film, Larry Clark's directorial debut, and it's also the writing debut of Harmony Korine. You know Harmony Korine, the dude who went on to make Spring Breakers and Trash Humpers and Gummo, among several others. I think he has made other stuff as well, and I think he also has a movie out this year that, tell you the truth, I haven't seen, and it doesn't even have a UK release date yet, so I haven't seen it yet, and there's a reason I haven't seen it yet. But kids, yeah, this is definitely, like, I've heard a lot about this film. Of course, I do remember it being referenced in one of Eminem's older songs, and of course, it's very controversial for its sort of frank depiction of sort of growing up in a particularly rough part of New York. This is the cut version of the film. This version was, I think it's been cut by a minute because of a scene where, I don't know, like, I think it involves, like, a kid and he's in the same room as another couple having sex, and I can sort of understand why the BBFC would take issue with it. To tell you the truth, I haven't seen this film, like, but I have heard moderately good things about it. Like, I do look forward to watching it some evening. I do think I'll have to be in the right mood to watch it though, so yeah. And, I mean, if you want to break from all the bleak, depressing, somber, bizarre, mindfucky kind of films that I've just talked about there now, 10 Things I Hate About You. I do remember one of my English teachers talking about it in English one time, because I think we were studying Shakespeare, and of course, I believe this is sort of like a modern day high school retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, and of course, we were studying The Taming of the Shrew at the time, so I think it's only natural that he mentioned this, but yeah, I haven't actually seen this film, so I do look forward to watching it some evening. The Beaver, with Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster, and I think it also has an early appearance from Jennifer Lawrence, as well as a prominent part from the late great Anton Yelchin. Again, I have heard of this film. I haven't seen it though. Again, yeah, like, I have heard some very good things about this film. I do look forward to watching it some evening. I mean, Jodie Foster has made a surprisingly good career as a director. Up next is yet another one I haven't heard of before, Custody. I've never heard of this film until now, like, so I can't really say much else about that, I'm afraid. Again, like, I mean, it's backed by a lot of very rave reviews on the DVD. I mean, just look at this. Like, I mean, it's got 5 stars from the Daily Telegraph, the Irish Times, Empire, The Guardian, Total Film, Radio Times, The Times, The Observer. Yeah. A lot of high praise there, I'm not gonna lie. Another film I do remember hearing about, but for whatever reason I've never really seen before, The Duchess, with Keira Knightley and Ralph Fiennes. I think the one thing I do remember my friends saying this is meant to be pretty sexual in places. Like, I think it is meant to be quite strong for a 12 film. In fact, I think the BBFC have gone on record as stating that if they were rating this movie nowadays, they would reclassify it as a 15. But, yeah, like, I've heard some moderately alright things about it, but I've not really seen it, so I can't really comment. Another really controversial film, Pretty Baby, with Brooke Shields, Keith Carradine, and, Susan Sarandon. Yeah, Susan Sarandon's in this movie. Another film, like, it's definitely not the kind of movie you could get away with making today. I mean, it's about child prostitution. Again, the 70s was a really, really dark time. I mean, you could get away with a lot back then. that you just really couldn't get away with now, at least not without a lot of heavy criticism. Although I'm pretty sure you still got heavily criticised for making movies like this in the 70s too, so go figure. All Dogs Go to Heaven. I've not watched this, but I have watched the sequel. I remember watching the sequel on TV back when I was about 7, and I also remember having like a videotape of the TV series which had 3 episodes on it, and I remember I used to watch that endlessly back in the day. But yeah, this is meant to be pretty good. It's meant to be quite sad too, which, again, it's by Don Bluth. I'm pretty sure it is going to be quite dark and disturbing in places, so yeah. Ooh, boy, another one that I've never seen, never heard of before until now. Mr. Jones. From the producers of The Pact and The Divide. The Divide. Is that one with, where, I think it's like an apocalyptic film with Michael Biehn in it? Again, I've not seen it, so I can't really comment on this much on this film. It looks alright. Hit and Run with another very appropriately gruesome cover, also known as Bumper. Not often you actually get the alternate title on the DVD cover. Like, I've heard of alternate titles, but I've never heard of them putting the alternate title on the fucking cover, so yeah. Not really much to say about this one either. I've never really seen it. I don't know anybody in it. I'm not familiar with this movie at all, honestly. Next up is another film that I've never seen and never heard of before until now, Silverhide. And there's not a lot to say on the back, unfortunately. Like, it's only about 72 minutes long. Other Dimension Films Limited presents. Is that anything to do with Dimension Films? You know, the Harvey Weinstein run company? But that aside, can't really say much about it. Like, it does sound quite interesting. It's about a group of conspiracy theorists that are secretly watching a top-secret military base in the desolate Welsh mountains. And they're looking for experimental and highly classified test aircraft, but instead they cover a highly lethal experiment, the Silverhide, a creature discovered in the 1920s, in brackets, which the military and government are testing, whose fur has the ability to turn invisible in moonlight. So it's sort of like if you combined the Wolfman and the Invisible Man together. Pretty cool combination, I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to watching this. Sounds fun. Okay. Oh boy. Nymphomaniac, Lars von Trier's highly infamous film, and oh my god. I'm sorry, like, this is, I've always found the poster for Nymphomaniac to be one of the most hilarious fucking things I've ever seen. Like, it's just a bunch of people's O-faces, and it's not quite as funny on the DVD, unfortunately, which is a bit of a bummer. But again, I've not a lot to say about this particular film. Like, it does seem like it's going to be... I'll need to have a lot of spare time on my hands before I watch it, because I think the two films combined, the first one is 141 minutes, the other one is 170 minutes, so that combined I think is almost like 5.5 hours. Yeah. Long fucking movie. I'll definitely need a lot of time to watch it, because usually when it comes to part 1 and part 2 type films, I like to watch them all in one go, so yeah, I'll definitely need to be up very late, make sure nobody else is in the house, make sure it's super dark, the volume is super low, before I ever get around to watching this bad boy, alright? And I think we're almost finished the first bag. And we're up next with Marion Cotillard's 2 Days, 1 Nights. I do remember this as part of one of my classes. I think a couple of my classmates recreated a scene from this film. So that's how I heard about it. I haven't seen it before, but again, it was pretty popular at Cannes, and of course it has Marion Cotillard in it, and she's a fantastic actress. I do really love her in pretty much everything she's ever been in. I think she's genuinely terrific. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to watching this one some evening. The Wave, a disaster movie from Norway, I believe. It's directed by Roar Uthaug. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologise if I mispronounced it, but yeah, I do remember hearing about this movie when I heard about the guy being hired to direct the Tomb Raider film I hope it's better than the Tomb Raider film, honestly, because I really wasn't a big fan of it. I really hope this is better. I've heard it's very good, so that does give me a lot of confidence. 13, another film that, for the life of me, I have not heard about and I haven't seen, obviously, but it says here in the back, it's like Fight Club but more satisfying, and wow. I mean, it's in black and white. Like, it does look... Like, the DVD actually does a pretty good job of making it look pretty interesting. So, yeah. I look forward to watching this film. Okay. I think I can maybe toss this bag to the side for the time being. And let's see what we got here. First up, Blue, part of the Three Colors trilogy, which I've heard a ton about. I think it's one of those films, or one of those film trilogies that is really beloved by critics. I think I've heard it ranked as one of the best trilogies of all time. I'm not sure which installment this is, but yeah, this does... I think I'll definitely get around to watching this some evening. It looks quite good. Can't really say much else about it, though, unfortunately. Deepan, which is another film that I haven't seen and I haven't heard of until now. Dogman, another film that I have heard about, I think, but I haven't seen. I do remember my friend talking about it to me one night. Yeah, it looks pretty good, honestly. It does look pretty interesting. It looks like kind of like a quirky wee low-budget thriller that's probably well worth watching. So, yeah. Terrifically good. A movie with incomparable bite and strength. Bites! Yeah, I'm sure it's got a lot of bites in it. Summer 1933, another film that, for the life of me, I haven't heard about. Although it did win Best First Feature at the Berlin Film Festival, so it must have some pretty good... And it says here, it's based directly on the director Carl Simon's own childhood. And yeah, I do think it's probably going to be well worth seeing. I mean, it's meant to be... I haven't really much to say about this one because, again, I haven't seen it and I haven't really heard about it until now, so I'll get around to watching it some evening, I reckon. In Blue, another film that I think I have heard about, but I haven't really seen before. I do think the girl on it, you know, the girl in the back here, she kind of looks a wee bit like Michelle Rodriguez. I don't know if that is her or not, but I don't see her name in the credits, so yeah, I don't think. And it is set during the Civil War, so I don't think that's her. I do look forward to watching it, although it is admittedly kind of low down on my list, on the list of what I want to watch, but I'll hopefully get around to seeing it some evening. Like, I mean, it does look pretty good, so yeah. And now we're on to bag 2. Oh boy, we're only halfway there. And up next is another installment in the Three Colors trilogy, Red. I think we covered Blue last time, and it says here it's the third and final part of the trilogy, and it's been highly acclaimed as his masterpiece. The director who made it, what's his name? Krzysztof Kieślowski. I apologise if I mispronounced that. I am so very sorry for that, but yeah, I definitely will have to get around to watching this sometime, like, but yeah. Looks pretty good. Looks really damn good. Just so you know, this bag's actually got a lot more in it, so it is going to take a lot more time to get through. But we'll get there, don't worry. Up next is the highly controversial Blue's the Warmest Colour. Pretty controversial because apparently the director was a real asshole to his actresses, and they apparently got along really well, but he was really nasty to them. I can't quote them on that, but again, like, it is meant to be really good. Very long, too, like 173 minutes. And it has been acclaimed as one of the best films of the year it came out. I believe it also got by with an NC-17 rating in the States as well, so yeah. Not often that happens anymore, is it? I lament the sort of lack of 18-rated movies in the cinema, but it's very rare for a movie to even come close to getting a fucking NC-17 rating over in the States, so yeah, and concluding the Three Colours trilogy is White. I think this is the second film in the trilogy. We just covered the third one there. This is the second one, so I pretty much covered them completely out of order. Again, like, I've not much else to say about it. I haven't seen any of them before, so I think this will definitely be in the to-watch pile. How far down it, I don't know, but I'll get around to watching it, alright? Oh boy. A Fantastic Woman. I do remember hearing about this movie back when it came out, because I remember it was playing up in Belfast for a while. Daniela Vega, I think she really got a lot of praise for her performance in this, and it looks really damn good. I do remember being really miffed at not being able to see it. But yeah, I'll definitely need to see this. Another film that, for the life of me, I haven't seen and I haven't heard about, and that is The Wailing. A supernatural thriller from... I'm not sure where it's from, honestly, but... Again, looking at the back of it, it is, Korea. I think it's from South Korea. And, yeah, again, looking at the back and sort of seeing what it's about, definitely looks interesting. I definitely have to watch it one of these evenings, like, if I have any spare time. And, yeah, that's the problem. Like, I have so many movies I really want to watch that it is going to take a while before I get to these films, I think. And then you factor in the fact that I'm trying to rewatch some movies to see how they hold up as well, like, so, yeah, it's going to take me a while. Up next is the Guillermo del Toro produced Julia's Eyes, which, yeah, I've heard a lot about this one. I've heard it's meant to be quite good, but regrettably, I have not seen it. And that kind of goes for a lot of Del Toro's production efforts, unfortunately. I haven't seen any of them, in fact. Oh boy, this is actually taking a lot longer than anticipated. But next one on the pile is The Idiots, the highly controversial film from Lars von Trier, which is about a bunch of people who pretend to be mentally disabled, and it's really, they're real assholes, like, trying to do that. And I gotta love the cover for this. Like, I mean, they didn't even bother to censor the nudity in it. I'm probably gonna get, you know, in trouble for it, but my god, I don't care. Like, they couldn't even be bothered to censor the nudity on the cover. But yeah, I've heard a lot about this film. I think it's part of the Dogma 95 movement, which I did learn about in college, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to set aside some time to watch it, because, oh boy, I reckon it's going to give me a lot to talk about, and I can definitely see why people would want to shout il est merde to it. Oh boy. Fucking hell, The Idiots. It's one of those movies. Up next is another one with a very erotic cover, Le Mont Double. I haven't heard about this one either, unfortunately, but it does say here that it combines Hitchcockian intrigue with nods to Brian De Palma and David Cronenberg. So, that should be interesting. I mean, I like De Palma, I like Cronenberg, and it also describes it as a theatre of excess. The DVD's wordings, by the way, not mine. So yeah, this looks pretty good. I think I might like it. Oh my god. Up next is a film that my friend has said is a great big pile of crap, and that is Ex-Drummer. Which, I have to admit, when I first heard about it, and I first heard that my friend was watching it, I thought it was a horror movie, but, I mean, it's not. It's actually meant to be a dark comedy of some kind, but apparently it's meant to be really, really shit. But it does have its fans. Like, I mean, IMDb has a fairly respectable score for it. I mean, I think it has a 7 on IMDb, although the critics are certainly very polarised over it, and my friend, as I stated, he says he thinks it's one of the worst movies he's ever seen. And yeah, I think I might like this film, but I also might hate it as well. So this is going to be a fun experience, I reckon. You know, it's going to be, at the very least, a fascinating film to watch. Up next, we have the original version of The Departed, aka Infernal Affairs. I also have The Departed on Blu-ray, and I think it's a really good film, but again, I am really curious to see how this holds up in comparison to The Departed, because Like, The Departed, I think many would consider to be superior to this, but there is also a lot of people who would say this is also much better, and I'm definitely looking forward to watching it. I mean, I think this is actually meant to be a trilogy as well, which, yeah, that's pretty fun. Oh boy. Thought there was a booklet in it for some reason, which is a little disappointing, but I won't make a fuss about it. Up next is another very controversial one, Man Bites Dog, and I think it's also from Tartan. I'm getting quite a lot of Tartan DVDs, which I'm not complaining by any means, I'm just sort of observing. And it says here, it makes reservoir dogs look like muzzled mongrels, according to The Guardian. And again, I've not seen it, but I have heard about it. It's about I think it's about a guy who, like, he goes around killing people, and he has like a film crew going around making a documentary about him, and again, like, it is meant to be super controversial, and I think your man who stars in it, like, he got a lot of praise for his performance in it, so yeah. Definitely look forward to watching this some evening. It looks proper good. Up next is another film that my friend told me is a great big pile of crap, and that is... And it says here, from the producers of Paranormal Activity, Insidious, and The Devil Inside, from the director of Candyman. Yeah, that's, pretty mixed track record there. I mean, because of course, I quite like Insidious, but, I mean, Paranormal Activity I'm not really that into, and The Devil Inside, of course, is also just a great big pile of crap. And then Candyman, of course, is well beloved, and I think I have another one of the director's movies there in my collection as well. How the Mighty Have Fallen, huh? But, again, like, I might like this, like, maybe my friend, I mean, I disagree with people on movies all the time, so, who knows, I might find something redeeming about this. Up next is oh boy, we're keeping the quality really low again, apparently, because When Evil Calls, I think my friend has also went on record as saying this movie kinda sucks. Oh my god, and look at this cover, like, it just looks so ridiculous, doesn't it? Like, my god. Like, this just looks about as direct-to-DVD schlock as you could possibly get, but you know what? If it's good, if it's fun, I'll definitely get something out of it at least, so yeah. Thank you for that one. Oh boy. Up next is Pumpkinhead, which is directed by Stan Winston, the late great Stan Winston, the guy who did all the great makeup effects work on Jurassic Park and most of the sequels as well. I think he worked on Jurassic Park 2 and Jurassic Park 3. Of course, he also worked on the Terminator movies, he's also worked on Aliens, and he's also worked on Avatar, so he's a very talented guy, and I like a lot of his work. I'm curious to see how he'll fare as a director now, because, I mean, he's worked with a lot of very talented directors, especially the likes of James Cameron, so hopefully he's picked up a few tricks from Cameron. Up next is another foreign movie, and that is One Take Only, which, I have to admit, I really love the cover for this for some reason. It just looks really, you know, daring, ballsy, you know, it doesn't look like your typical movie, just when you meet its glance. It's made by the Pang brothers, who, of course, I think they did The Eye and the original Bangkok Dangerous. I think they also did the remake with Nicolas Cage. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, this is also, again, I've not heard about this film before until now, so naturally I've not seen it. It's a Thai film, which I haven't seen very many Thai films, unfortunately. I mean, but yeah, this looks like it might be proper good. Oh boy. Still a lot more to go. Blade of the Immortal, the 100th film from Takashi Miike. Yeah, I think one story I have is I remember seeing this playing up in Belfast one day, back in December of 2017, and I remember being really annoyed because I wanted to go up and see it, but I couldn't because it would have taken a lot of time and effort to get up to Belfast for me back then, although I had done it before. Yeah, and I'm glad I finally had the opportunity to watch it. I'm really looking forward to it, because I think my friend said it's got a proper gruesome finale, so I really can't wait. Up next is another one that I've heard about but I haven't seen, and that is Girl. A film about a transgendered, like, 15-year-old. And it's gotten a lot of praise, so I am looking forward to watching this, but I can't say much else about it because I haven't seen it. And, like, that's the thing with all these movies. I think all of them I have not seen yet, and yeah, the next one's definitely not going to change that. The Cave of the Yellow Dog, another one from Tartan. Never heard of this film before until now, so yeah, it's a Mongolian drama, and in comparison to all the other films I've shown so far, it's a U, which, yeah, I think most of my other films here are either 15 or 18 at most. Okay, this is one I have seen. Aquaman. Yeah, I actually did see this in the cinema, and I've been hoping to get it on Blu-ray for the longest time, but I really quite enjoyed it. I did see it in the cinema, and I did have a few issues with its running time, but overall I did think this was really damn good. I thought it was a lot of fun. Definitely shows the DC Universe is heading in the right direction. Dogtooth, the directorial debut from Yorgos Lanthimos. I apologise for mispronunciation once again. For a minute there I thought the DVD wasn't actually in it, but it actually is. Really controversial. Again, it contains incest theme and infrequent real sex. Yeah, there actually is times in movies where they actually do have sex. And they don't fake it or stimulate it or anything. They actually do, you know, do it. But yeah, again, looks really risque on the cover, so definitely looks like a ringing endorsement there. The original Pusher, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, the man who went on to do Drive, Only God Forgives, Neon Demon, and Bronson. I've seen those films, and he is a very talented director, but he is very abstract and surreal, and he definitely likes to be very ballsy and daring. He's definitely not going to be to everyone's tastes, but Pusher, I think this was his first film, and it's meant to be proper good. Like, I've heard it's meant to be, I mean, you gotta love here, it says, fucking great, mate, you know? Up next is another film that I haven't seen and I haven't heard about before, and that is Time. From the director, from Kim K-Duke, from the director of The Isle and Bad Guy, which, again, it does look really good. Like, honestly, I really like the sort of cover for it, so it seems like a superficial reason to want to watch it, but there have been plenty of times where I have fallen in love with a movie based on the cover, so go figure. Chevalier, another film that I don't think I've seen before, and I haven't heard of it before. I think the one thing of note here is that it got an 18 rating for strong nudity and sex references, so it must take a concentrated amount of effort to get an 18 rating purely on that alone. And I kind of like the tagline here, a buddy movie without the buddies, so yeah, again, looks like it might be quite fun. I'm looking forward to watching it. Another one that I haven't seen but I have heard about, I'm aware it exists, The Midnight Meat Train, which I think is taken from the Clive Barker story of the same name. It's meant to be quite gruesome. And also of note, it's, I think, an early appearance from Bradley Cooper, and it also has Vinnie Jones in it. Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! Okay, I better stop doing that because I'm going to get in so much shit because I just brought up X-Men 3 again. Fuck. But yeah, Exorcism, a William A. Baker film. Oh my god, is this like meant to be a rip-off of The Exorcist? Actually no, I have heard about this film, I just haven't seen it, but good lord, the cover for this is fucking horrible. It's really fucking horrible. And also it has a 12 rating for mild violence and occult horror, so I don't know how the hell it managed to get a 12 rating. I mean, it's a fucking exorcism movie, so I don't know what happened when they were BBF. I really don't know what happened when the BBFC were classifying this film. They must have been on their lunch break. Brigsby Bear, another one that I have heard about. I didn't get to see it though back when it came out. I did kind of slip under my radar, but I have heard very nice things about it, and I have heard it's meant to be really good, it's meant to be really funny, And Mark Hamill's in it as well, so you can't go wrong with that. Oh! And Phil Lord and Chris Miller producing it, and The Lonely Island were also involved in it too, so... Oh, and also, don't think you could see it, but it's also been certified fresh by Rotten Tomatoes, so obviously it must be really good. Not that Rotten Tomatoes has ever been wrong, but go figure. Up next is Pedro Almodovar's Julieta, which I have heard about. I do remember it being quite successful, or quite popular, or quite liked by the critics, and it did get a lot of love back when it came out, but I didn't see it, unfortunately. Really weird cover now, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it does look really damn strange, so yeah, definitely looks like it's worth a watch. The Chaser, another film that I haven't heard about and I haven't seen, and the cover for it looks really proper nasty. And I kind of like the recommendations here, especially from Jonathan Ross. It says, I urge you to go see it. Like, no! Right now! Right fucking now! Go see it, man! But yeah, like, this looks really proper nasty. I mean, it's an 18, strong bloody violence and terrorization. And now we're on to a movie that I have seen, and that is Filth, with James McAvoy, Jim Broadbent, Jamie Bell, Eddie Marsan, Imogen Poots, and a lot of really talented British actors in it. It's adapted from the Irvine Welsh novel of the same name, and it's really good. I really do like this movie. It's definitely not to everyone's tastes, but I do really love it. Especially for McAvoy. McAvoy is fucking phenomenal in this, and I also think Eddie Marsan is also really good because I love Eddie Marsan in literally everything he's been in. He's a fucking fantastic actor, and I think he deserves more recognition for that. Okay, we're getting through there. The original Mad Max. I have seen this. I really quite like the first Mad Max. I know a lot of people sort of prefer The Road Warrior, and it is a much better film all around. Like, it is a lot more confident, but again, that's not to put the original down. I still really like this film, especially since I think it does a really good job in sort of showing a character's descent into madness and vengeance. But yeah, it's very rough around the edges, but I still really like it though. Bone Tomahawk, which I do remember watching a wee bit of this on Netflix, but I didn't watch it all the way through. I have seen S. Craig Zeller's follow-up, Brawl in Cell Block 99, and I'm planning on watching Dragged Across Concrete somewhere down the line, but yeah, what I've seen of it, I do quite like. It's meant to be proper gruesome though. But yeah, I like Zeller as a filmmaker. I mean, Brawl in Cell Block 99 was really damn good, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching this again. Up next is another controversial one, David Cronenberg's Crash, which is about people getting it on in car crashes. I think Mark Kermode summed this movie up quite well when he said it was perfect, but very tough to like, and I've not seen it, but again, it's meant to be proper, really, you know, love it or hate it type film. I kind of like the back here. It says, Sex and Wrecks, made by adults, for adults. Autoeroticism in overdrive. Oh god, again. Definitely have to watch this some evening. Up next, Death Race 2000, the original Death Race, not the one with Jason Statham. I think this must be a very early DVD release, I'm not sure. But, and it also has a very early appearance from Sylvester Stallone, believe it or not. Yeah, this is back before he did Rocky, I think, and also, of course, it has David Carradine in it, and it was produced by Roger Corman, so definitely looks like it's right up my alley there. Okay, so that's it, I think. I think I can afford to toss the rest of these away. The Ring 2, another one that's... I've not seen it, but I have heard a lot of terrible things about it. I've heard this movie's not very good at all. Like, at all. It's meant to be really crappy. But I did see Rings, you know, that sequel, reboot, whatever, that came out a couple of years ago, and I'm pretty sure everybody forgot about it. But, yeah, I don't think it could be worse than that. This, again, I do remember it having really terrible CGI work in it, though, and yeah, not really looking forward to watching this one at all. Looks pretty bad. And here's another odd choice. Now that's what I call a music quiz, so if I ever want to have friends over and I want to ask them questions about music, this is a good one to do, I think, you know, and like, I think I have made it clear in the past, I love music, so I think I'm gonna be a fucking god at this. Don't quote me on that one, though. Up next is The Lion King 3, also known as, I think, Lion King 1.5, because of course it's about Timon and Pumbaa literally sort of recapping the first Lion King movie, and it also sort of serves as like an origin story for Timon. And I have seen it. I remember watching it a lot back when I was a kid. I remember I used to have the video for it. I liked it quite a lot at the time, but I haven't seen it since then. I'm not sure how it holds up. And again, this is like a Disney direct-to-DVD video sequel, so the quality, the track record of those is pretty poor. Up next is another one that got a lot of praise and a lot of love back when it came out, but for the stupidest fucking reasons possible, I didn't see it. Kubo and the Two Strings, which is also brought to us by Laika, and Laika, unfortunately, it just seems like they really do not have a good track record of luck, unfortunately, because most of their movies get a lot of love, but unfortunately they never make money, and I just kind of feel sorry for them. But yeah, as for this film, like, I have heard so many people say it's really good. Like, it's gotten a lot of praise. I mean, it's got a great cast in it too. Charlize Theron, Ralph Fiennes, Rooney Mara, George Takei, Matthew McConaughey, and Art Parkinson. I think he was one of the Starks in Game of Thrones, one of the Little Lords. So yeah, definitely looking forward to watching it now. The House on Pine Street, another film that I haven't seen and unfortunately I haven't heard about before until now. Hasn't got very many big names in it, not very many actors in it I'd recognise. Again, not much to say about this particular entry. Might be alright, might be good, might not be, we'll see. Up next is a pretty infamous one, another Takashi Miike film, Visitor Q, which, again, like, I've heard very many good things about it. Like, I'm really looking forward to watching it, honestly. I'm kind of looking forward to getting into Takashi Miike's filmography as a whole, so yeah, definitely looking forward to watching it. And last but not least, I have two Blu-rays. First up, Belle de Jour, starring, what's her name? Catherine Deneuve, you know, the woman from Repulsion. Yeah, I've heard it's meant to be really good too, like, but it's directed by Louis Buñuel, you know, the guy who did that Eye short, you know, that black and white film where the guy slices the woman's eye. But yeah, it's meant to be quite good, but it is meant to be quite erotic, so yeah, definitely worth a watch, I'd say. And last but not least, for real this time, The Banishment. This is the final film, thank God. I don't think I've heard of this one. It has a 12 rating for brief sight of gore and suicide and abortion references, so that's basically a nice way of saying it contains mature themes. But yeah, all joking aside, it is meant to be quite good. It does look really good now. It looks really sad. I'll definitely have to get around to watching it some evening. Yeah. So there you have it. That is all the DVDs and Blu-rays I just got. And I don't think I'm going to be getting any more ever again because my shelf is full at the moment. Really fucking full. So I might have to hold off on buying some for a while, unfortunately. But nevertheless, thank you for giving these to me. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back soon with more reviews. I'm looking forward to reviewing Toy Story 4, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Midsommar. And if you like what you've seen here, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe to my channel while you're at it. If there's anything I can do to improve my presentation, do let me know. I'm always happy to hear feedback as long as it's somewhat constructive. If you want to follow me on social media, or support me on Patreon, or check out my website, links are below down in the description. And until next time, I'm Danny Quinn, and I hope you have a pleasant evening.